you're looking at live pictures of the George Washington Bridge. It brings traffic from New Jersey to New York. And pretty soon, commuters will have to pay a lot more to make the journey downtown. From Sunday, vehicles entering the congestion relief zone in Manhattan will be charged a toll. And that includes local streets and avenues at or below 60th Street. It aims to reduce overcrowding and improve air quality. New York's congestion pricing will be the first of its kind across the United States. Similar programs have been implemented internationally, though, in cities like London and in Stockholm. Now, not everyone is for the congestion pricing, especially restaurants and food businesses who argue the plan will increase overheads throughout the supply chain. Food distributor Balder puts it simply, if you eat food in New York City, the cost is going to go up. Balder is leading an industry coalition to have food and beverage distributors exempt from the charge. Seth Gottlieb is the Senior Vice President of Logistics at Balder Specialty Foods, and he joins us now. Seth, fantastic to have you with us. I know you're just one of an entire coalition within the industry that's saying, look, something has to be done here. But have you worked out how much these tolls will cost you as a company specifically extra, just on an annual basis?
Yes, we have. It's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars of incremental cost over what we're doing today.
And how much of that can you mitigate, and how much of that will you have to pass on?
So our plan is to mitigate all the costs and capture all of that internally through efficiencies. Our plan is not to pass that on to our customers, but we know other partners around the Hunts Point community are not going to be able to do so. And we're also very concerned about our customers who are in the business district, who are going to be sourcing all of their supplies from outside of the congestion zone. So their costs are going to be increased for every supply coming into their businesses.
I mean, can you give me a ballpark because I know you're having conversations, and it's great that you're saying, actually, look, we're not going to have to pass any costs on because we can somehow be more efficient. But what kind of price increases for consumers we're talking about here?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to depend on the industry and who's bringing the products in. For us, we're seeing hundreds of thousands of dollars added into our cost structure that we're going to need to absorb. I think for customers, they're going to certainly see that pass through restaurants and retailers. But one of our larger concerns really is around the impact to food banks. Members of our coalition support hunger relief efforts, and this is going to create an extra burden on those carriers bringing product to people who need it the most.
I think this is the critical point, Seth, because I think as high as prices are and as painful as it is, it's the people who can least afford it that are going to bear the burden here, as you're saying, the higher costs on the lower income families, on food banks, for example, that may, I guess, have less food available. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, the Hunts Point community supplies 60% of the fresh food into New York City. These also support hunger relief organizations as well. This congestion pricing plan is going to put undue burden on those organizations and their ability to serve underprivileged communities and provide them with fresh food. So we are concerned. Partners in our coalition are also very concerned, not just our customers, but we also supply schools and hospitals. So not only will this pass on to the end consumer at restaurants, but the overall food supply chain, which is an essential service into New York City, is going to be greatly impacted by this.
Yeah, and I will say in the letter that was sent to the governor who enacted this, the message was, look, we understand the benefits perhaps to cleaner air, to less traffic, perhaps to less food waste, for example, as well. But notwithstanding that, there are challenges. There are several state and federal lawsuits pending, I know, against this law. How hopeful are you that one of them might at least suspend it or provide some form of carve-outs? Because you're not the only industry body. I know the fire service is upset about the implications for their firemen and women as well. There's all sorts of pushback against this. How hopeful are you that there'll be some sort of legal challenge that prevails?
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the impacts that you spoke about are unintended consequences of this plan. A lot of the focus has been on commuters and cars going into the city and the alternate for subway. But, there's a lot of essential services like firemen, like you spoke about, food services that you spoke about. We all support the goals of reducing traffic, of improving air quality and supporting the MTA. But it's just going to be too challenging with this program going in. We are not hopeful at this point. It's going in on Monday. We know a lot of the lawsuits have not come to fruition in terms of a delay. But we are hopeful that, for essential services like food banks and ourselves supplying food, that some exemption will be made for the members of the coalition, as well as relief for businesses that are inside the district.
Yeah, vitally important. Seth, good to have you on the show with us, and we'll stay in touch and see how progress goes. Thank you, sir.